The Star Wars Rebellion had angel investors. They're the ones who bet on an idea when no one else would. The ones who provided the crucial early money, resources, and connections to get the rebels off the ground. And to understand how this secret rebellion grew into an unstoppable force, you have to meet the men and women who invested in it. You're not going to see any Jedi here. No mystical powers, no prophecy. The rebellion was built by normal people with normal problems who had to make morally gray decisions to fund the war. First, there was the guy who ran a dusty antique shop. His name is Luthen Rael, and from the outside, he's a store owner that sells relics to the galaxy's elite. He seems like a bored man who's already made his fortune and is just killing time. But that's a smokescreen. In the back room of his shop, there's a switch that reveals a hidden communications center, a place where he becomes the nerve center of the early rebellion. He's the original angel investor, the one who meets the founders, the rebel cell leaders in the shadows. He doesn't just give them money, he gives them a strategic vision. He provides the resources they need, the intelligence they can't get on their own, and the mentorship they don't even realize they need. Luthen knows the rebellion needs more than just hope. It needs to be an actual business with a plan and a budget. His investment is pure action and getting their hands dirty. When he recruits Cassian Andor for the Aldhani heist, it's not to fight the Empire for a heroic cause. It's to gain a specific Imperial payroll worth millions of credits. The exact kind of seed money a rebellion needs to buy weapons, food, and fund other expenses of the rebel group. But Luthen's investments have a high moral cost. He's not a hero. He has to make choices that hurt innocent people. He has a mole, a man named Lonnie Jung, deep inside the Imperial Security Bureau. To protect his mole, Luthen is willing to let entire rebel cells and their leaders get completely obliterated. It's a cold decision. He knows that in the long run, the intelligence his mole provides will save more lives than the ones he lets go. He says it himself, "I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I will never see." Luthen's investment is his very soul. He's made his peace with the idea that he will not survive the rebellion he's funding, and that his name will be forever lost to history. He's the darkest kind of angel investor, the one who does what it needs to be done, no matter the personal or ethical price. He's the only one who shows us the dirty money that gets the rebellion started. But while Luthen was burning his soul in the dark, another investor was walking a tightrope in broad daylight. Every startup needs a public face, someone who can legitimize the operation and attract more investors. For the rebellion, that person was Mon Mothma. She was the polar opposite of Luthen. While he worked in the shadows, she worked out in the open, on the floor of the Imperial Senate. She couldn't kill a mole or plan a heist. Her investment was her reputation, her political power, and her family's wealth. Mon Mothma's struggle is deeply personal. She's an Imperial senator by day and a rebel fundraiser by night, and her life is a constant series of compromises. The Empire is listening, watching, and waiting. In order to get the money she needs to fund the rebellion, she has to navigate a world full of shady characters, like the corrupt Chandrilan banker, Davos Skulden. Davos Skulden is a perfect example of the kind of tough choices Mon Mothma has to make. She needs his money. He's an angel investor in his own right, but he comes with strings attached. He demands that his son be married to her daughter, Leda, as a way to solidify the family's alliance. This is a tough request because it means giving up her daughter's future, potentially forcing her into a marriage with a man from a family of morally questionable people. It's the kind of decision that a good person in a good situation would never have to make. But Mon Mothma isn't in a good situation. She's a woman on the edge, doing what she has to do to keep a dream alive. Her entire life is a sacrifice. She can't be honest with her husband. She can't tell her daughter the truth about her work. She has to put on a brave face while secretly she is tearing her life apart, piece by piece, all for the sake of the rebellion. She knows that any day she could be found out, arrested, or worse. She's the political backer, the one who brings the money and the legitimacy, but her investment costs her everything she holds dear. Mon Mothma takes the risk of being a public figure, knowing that the Empire could move in on her at any time. She's a crucial part of the rebellion's initial funding, but she isn't a founding member. That title belongs to another group of investors who made their bet on the rebellion long before it even had a name. For the rebellion to truly get off the ground, it needed more than just a shady spy or a public-facing senator. It needed a symbol, it needed a home, it needed a protector. This is where Bail and Breha Organa of Alderaan come in. While Mon Mothma and Luthen were taking huge risks and making gut-wrenching decisions, the Organas were already at the heart of the rebellion. The Organas, particularly Bail, are the original founding fathers of the rebellion. They didn't just invest money, they invested their entire planet and their legacy. When the Republic fell and the Empire rose, Bail Organa was one of the first people to stand up and do something about it. He used Alderaan's vast wealth and influence to covertly fund the rebellion, buying and providing starfighters, supplies, and safe havens for those who had nowhere else to go. Bail's investment was a generational one. When his wife Breha and he adopted a baby girl named Leia, it wasn't just a simple act of love. It was the ultimate investment in the future of the galaxy. They knew they were protecting a princess who would grow up to lead the rebellion herself one day. They were mentoring her and teaching her the values of justice, peace, and freedom, so she could continue the fight long after they were gone. The Organa's investment in the rebellion was a public statement. Bail Organa was a vocal opponent of the Empire, and he used his political platform to question the Empire's actions and policies. While Mon Mothma was trying to avoid drawing attention to herself, the Organas were openly challenging the Empire's authority. Their home planet of Alderaan was a symbol of freedom and democracy, a place where people could come to escape the Empire's rule. The Organas were the ultimate benefactors of the rebellion, the people who were willing to put their lives and their entire planet on the line for a cause they believed in. They were the ones who gave the rebellion a home, a name, and a legacy, and their final act of defiance would be a sacrifice so profound it would set the stage for the rebellion's greatest victory and solidify the true cost of their investment. The rebellion wasn't born from a single heroic act, but from a grassroots movement built on extraordinary investments. Figures like Luthen Rael, Mon Mothma, and the Organas sacrificed their morality, reputation, and lives. These individuals laid the groundwork for the galaxy's most pivotal moment, believing in a cause so much they were willing to risk it all for a sunrise they knew they would never see. Want more videos that explain what's really going on in the world of business? Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you're always in the loop. Thanks again for showing love on our last video, and our favorite comment from that one goes to